So Santa Anita's got a couple of graded stakes races on the Saturday card, and the first one is the first race of the day, the Joe Hernandez Stakes. It's on the downhill turf course at 6.5 furlongs for 3-year-olds and up, and this is a full field, and it should be a pretty darn good race. If we look at the field, of course, the one thing that we always want to look at, particularly with the downhill turf course, since it's such a unique route, is experience over the course. And that's very important, I think, when looking at horses for this race. It tends to play more like a mile than it does a sprint. So those horses that have that kind of stamina, it should bode well for. If we look at the early runners here, we got a couple of need the lead types, Forbidden Kingdom and Peaceful Waters. Of the two, I think Forbidden Kingdom has a really good chance to wire this field. He does have a propensity to give it up late, but he does have mile type of stamina. And again, being by American Pharoah on the turf, I think that bodes really well. You got Dick Mandela as the trainer. The concern I have is that it seems like they're trying to find a niche for this horse. It just doesn't seem to work out on the dirt. And going longer isn't really working out for him either. I think it's just because he's just got that greasy, fast speed. So perhaps the downhill turf might be a good for him. So I think Forbidden Kingdom will be the one on the lead. He's certainly going to get pressure from Peaceful Waters. But of the two, I think he's a little classier and can hang on in the mix. I don't know if he's got enough to take it down. But he has the class and he does have the speed. It's certainly possible. So I think we want to keep him in the mix. I'm a gambler. He's run on the turf course with marginal success, but I think he fits here class wise. And it's not the course. He runs fine on it. It's just he hasn't been able to put it together. What I think is going to happen here, you got Frankie Dettori aboard, and I think he's going to drop anchor with this one a little further back than perhaps he is normally. And if that's the case, it might allow him to have plenty left in the stretch, because that's been the issue. They've tried a lot of different things with this horse, and chasing a hot pace the last time really didn't work out very well. So I think laying him back a little more should give him some more kick in the stretch, and I think he's a potential win candidate here, 5-1, good price. Turn on the Jets, I like in this race. He is Phil D'Amato and J.J. Hernandez together are a really potent combination. In particular, you do a little deeper dive in the angle. They're only 19% together at Santa Anita in turf sprints. However, those all 4 wins are at the downhill turf course. So I think that's a pretty good sign that this one, Turn on the Jets, has experience over the track. I think is poised to run a big one. I really like him in here, and I think he's the one to beat. Dancing Buck, he's an also eligible. If he draws in, here's why you got to use him. First of all, he's an also eligible. So they really want to get him in the race. And what the hell is Dick Dutrow doing out in California? He was at the Breeders' Cup, of course, but that's the Breeders' Cup. He never runs out in California. So this horse has been shipped here for a reason. And looking at his back class, he's never run on the chute, and he's going to be parked way outside to his disadvantage. But he's obviously here for a reason, and he's probably in pretty good form. So at 6-1, I think he's worth including should he draw in. Daniel's Magic and Olympic Runner both are horses that have the kind of stamina that fits well on this course. Daniel's Magic in particular has raced very well on the downhill turf. I just don't think he's quite good enough to beat this field. However, I think if you see the asterisk by him and Olympic Runner, I think at their prices, they're very good bets to run underneath. So I think that they're definitely more to be included as underneath in the exotics to fill out the try, and perhaps the exacta. but I think either one of them can run a good race, just not quite good enough to win, I don't think. Lucky Score is has experience over the course, has the stamina as well, is running has been running well, and I'm not sure about a late runner necessarily in this race because I do think Turn on the Jets, and I'm a gambler, probably going to be a little closer, maybe get first jump on him. But I think Lucky Score is hard to overlook. He ran a really nice Breeders' Cup Turf Mile, and I wonder about the bounce off the Breeders' Cup because obviously he ran a really big race in a race he probably couldn't win. But needless to say, in this type of field, he certainly is a fit, and I think he's one that we definitely have to consider. So if we look at our wagering strategy, I think Turn on the Jets makes a lot of sense at 5-1, and I would bet him to win. He's my key in this race. Exacta-wise, I'd key him with the 1-4-6. And then I would box the 1 and the 10 because Lucky Score, again, is a late runner. The others might get a little tired out if the pace is kind of hot. So we'll go there. And then we'll throw a saver exacta with the 10 on top over the 3 or the 11. If they come flying late, maybe can get up, and that gives you a really nice exacta. So I think that gives us all 4 corners of the potential exacta covered. In the trifecta, the 1 and the 6, I think, are the most logical. So let's key the 10 in first and second with the 1-6-1-6. Then we'll key again with 1-4-6 and 1-4-6 first and second. Then we'll throw a couple of saver trifectas in, 10 on top with 1-4-6 over 3-11, and then 10 on top over 3-11 and 1-4-6. So this race definitely has some nice value in it, particularly when you consider the favorite is 3-1. I think that that gives you an idea that there's some prices to be had. So I think this race can offer some really nice value, and hopefully we can take it down to ring in the new, or to get close to end the year and get a good start to 2024. So that's the Joe Hernandez, and thanks to all of you who have been supporters this year. I'll wish you a happy new year. Make it a safe one, and we'll talk soon.